So Canada has a large number of broken pieces, islets floating in this region. Okay. So the major land mass that lies very close to Greenland is Canada. So it's hardly 16 kilometers away from Canada and around 650 kilometers from the North Pole. And the northernmost land mass point means, see, all these are, this blue colored region is the ocean, isn't it? Which is the northernmost land mass here? This is far, this is far, these are all very far. Something very close is this region, isn't it? Yes. So this region is the closest land mass to the North Pole, and that area is known as Cape Morris Jesup. This is a Cape Morris Jesup, and that is located in the Greenland. Okay, so the northernmost land mass, which is close to the pole, North Pole, is Cape Morris Jesup, and that is also located in the Greenland. Right? So in this picture, this is a picture which is taken from the satellite, and we can see this is the Arctic Ocean region which is covered in a ice cap, and this is a Greenland region which is also covered in ice. So Greenland is almost totally covered in ice except some regions on this coastal areas. Okay, and yes, see, this is something like the surface that is usually seen in Greenland. It's completely covered with ice, and at some areas, if you try to dig down deep into the ice to find the soil there, it may be something around 2 to 3 kilometers of ice. The thickness of ice on Greenland is something around 2 to 3 kilometers. You have to go 3 kilometers down into the ice if you want to reach the soil. Okay, but on the ice, we have huge mountain types of things are there, deep crevasses are there, the ice breaks away, making long and sharp and deep crater kind of stuffs. Alright, and on the ocean sides also, yes. So this is the Arctic Ocean, and this is the Greenland. Okay, and see, these are the ice caps. Ice cap means there's a 2 to 3 kilometers thick layer of ice that is seen on the Greenland land area is called ice cap. On the ocean sides also we can see huge ice caps, and sometimes what happens is these ice caps breaks. Okay, they are called ice cavings. So these ice caps, they breaks away, and these pieces of ice will start to flow in the water because they are in the Arctic Circle, no? Arctic Circle. So in the Arctic Ocean, they breaks away, they falls into this Arctic Ocean, and they starts to flow. And we know there are ocean currents are there, no? Towards the equator, the ocean is warmer, and towards the polar circle, it is cooler. So what happens? There is a flow of water happening in the ocean, known as ocean currents. And these ice cubes, the huge ice cubes, will start to flow based on this flow of ocean water. Okay, these broken away ice caps that are floating in the water are known as icebergs. Icebergs are very dangerous. Okay, so this is a floating mass of ice. This is a floating mass of ice which got broken away from the huge ice caps. And this is dangerous because, see, only this much is what we can see above the water, and this much is there below the water. Okay? What we can see on top of the water is comparatively very less, whereas the huge chunk of that will be below the water. So most often what happens is, Atlantic Ocean is the busiest ocean. Atlantic Ocean is the busiest ocean, and these icebergs from the Arctic Ocean flows directly into the Atlantic Ocean. Okay, from the Arctic Ocean they flow directly into Atlantic Ocean, and Atlantic Ocean is busy by ships and all. And these ice caps, these icebergs often cause severe damage for these ships. Most of them can even sink. You might have heard about the story of a ship called the Titanic, isn't it? Titanic, a very big ship when it was constructed. And on the very first voyage itself, it is sunk because it hit on an iceberg like this. Okay, so these icebergs, which gets away from that ice caps in the Greenland area, floats in the water, and they pose severe threat for the ships in the Atlantic Ocean also. Right? It's so big that it takes a lot of time to melt also. Right? Climate in Greenland. So climate is polar climate. Polar climate means what? It's very cool. See, polar region is the top and the bottom, the north and the south part of the globe, which receives a slanting sunrise, isn't it? On equator, it receives a straight sunlight. On polar region, it's a slanting. Okay, so it's not that hot. It travels a lot of time to reach the polar regions. So temperature is comparatively very less, and because of the tilt, it still receives a very small amount of sunlight. Okay, so because of this reason, what happens is summer is hardly for around 3 months in this region. Okay, out of 12 months, 3 months are summer and the remaining 9 months are winter. So short summers, long winters. And how are the winters? Extremely cold. Right? Then temperature is always below 0 degree. Even during summer, the temperature is below 0 degree. Right? Then very little rainfall but heavy snowfall. This is another region in the world which receives very little rainfall. It doesn't rain at all almost throughout the year there, but snowfall is very heavy. It snows very heavy over there. Right? Then polar winds around 160 kilometers per hour is blowing from the North Pole to this region throughout the winter. Okay, so very strong winds from the pole, where the earth is rotating, no? So as it rotates, yes, this is a pole region, and the winds will be forming very fast over there, and these winds blow at a speed of something around 160 kilometers per hour from the polar region. Okay, and these are some of the major features of the climatic conditions of Greenland. Okay, so summer is very short, and winter is long, and sun can be seen only during the summer season. During the winter season, we can hardly see any sun there. We cannot see sun. Okay, then temperature is always below 0 degree. Very little rainfall, but very heavy snowfall happens there. Polar winds with a speed of something around 160 kilometers per hour blows during the winter season. Right? Natural vegetation of Greenland. So, it's also a landmass where people, animals, plants and all these kinds of things live. And the question is it possible for plants to live on this land? We have seen in many of the regions, we have to dig up to 2 kilometers, 2 to 3 kilometers to reach the land. And such climatic conditions, is it possible to have plants? So plant life is very, very limited as far as Greenland is concerned. Only during the short summer season, at some regions the ice melt and there will be some land seen to the sun. Only on those regions we can find some moss or lichens or small flowering plants, grass type of flowering plants, which can have a maximum height of 15 centimeters. 15 centimeters means what? Yeah, 1 scale. Okay, that is the height of the biggest plant as far as Greenland is concerned, because the land is totally covered with snow. Right? The ice cover on the land prevents plant growth over there. Plants are grown only during the short summer season, and they are mostly of most varieties lichens and all, right? But animals, wildlife in Greenland is amazing. Though there are very less plants over there, it has a very good amount of animals over there. And among all the animals, the most important one is reindeer. Reindeer is actually a regional animal over there, and it grows even to that of the size of a bull or a cow or an ox. Okay, this animal is actually grown by the people over there because they get the milk and the flesh from these animals. Okay, they use these animals for their milk and flesh and the skin also. Right? And another such animal is a musk ox. See how thick a hair it has got on its body. It is a very furry animal, and these are also grown for the purpose of fur and meat. Okay, another animal is a caribou. So in the olden days, these caribou horns were used as weapons by the people over there. Okay, and this also has got a thick fur here, and flesh and skin were mostly made out of these animals. Right? Next is Arctic fox, a wild animal there. Okay, it's a very cute looking animal, but very dangerous. Fox itself is a wild animal, isn't it? See, the fox is actually jumping to break the ice to get the fish inside it. A hunting technique which usually foxes won't do, but Arctic fox does it. Okay, it will jump and break the ice and catch the fish under it. Next, polar bear. So when we think about the polar region, polar bears are the animals that come to our mind, isn't it? Very huge bears and very thick furry body. Right? Yes. Then walrus are also known as the sea elephants. Okay. These are the major animals that are seen over there. Still are there Arctic jackals are there,